Jai Hind everyone. I am Kajal Kaushal, Assistant Professor of IT Department, Ajay Kumar Garg, Engineering College, Ghaziabad. So today I am here with my topic, Data Analytics Lifecycle. But before diving inside, I'd like to mention here that data analytics comprises of two words, the data and the analytics. So the first thing we need to know is what exactly is the data? Is it something that is having some information, or is it carrying some valuable insight, or is it giving some result? Yes, it is the raw fact. But before doing any analytics process, we can't say what it is giving us, what that particular data is giving us. Is it giving us a height? Is it giving us a range? Is it giving us a temperature or the number? What? We can't say anything if a variable has, or roughly there is a number 10. We can't say anything. So here comes the role of information, the word information. That means now we need to turn this data into a valuable information, okay, so that we can say what exactly this 10 is doing, whether it's telling us the time, it's telling us the temperature, it's telling us the distance or whatever, or the age, of course, whatever, anything. So now the second part, that is the analytics. So in the analytics, we see that it's somewhat similar like analysis. But is it really the analysis? Can we say that we are doing some sort of analysis? Yes, we are certainly analyzing the things, we are certainly analyzing our data, but with the help of tools. So here comes this T. It is for the tools. There are many tools which will help all the data analysts to analyze the particular data from the very beginning. And the beginning starts from the data collection. We need to focus on what type of data is required to ascertain or to complete a particular project to get some valuable results. So here you can see that the life cycle is also adopted across industry standard process for the data mining. That is the CRISP, a DM, a model that is an open standard analytics framework, and it's developed by IBM. So we need to follow this certain analytics framework to get set and go. That means to collect the data, then to process it, and to get any of the result, whatever result that we are waiting for, that we need to follow some of the framework, and it should be common to everyone. So that's why the life cycle is based on this particular model, and that was developed by IBM. So the phases are having various objectives with it, starting from cleaning of the data. I'll tell you what's the cleaning of the data, and then building certain models. These models are as per our requirement, and then whatever models that we obtain, that should be a very easy way communicable with the stakeholders that are the persons who are going to finally use that data. It can be any organization, a brand name, it can be a normal ERP or whatever. That communication should be there. So we need to follow some of the rules, okay? And we know data is not only a small sort of collection in a tabular or organized form. It's a huge data. It's almost reaching to billions and then terabytes or whatever. From the social media, we get the data flow coming and coming and coming, and it's unstoppable. So this consists of the big data, and this big data is certainly not easy to handle at all. So we need to follow the life cycle, not for a small or a standard organized data, but for this unorganized big data. So that means this is a real task. We need to follow the methodology to organize various activities before finally analyzing it. Okay, so we can say the importance lies in these 5 things. First, it gives us a very nicely framed, structured approach. That means we all will not panic at all by seeing the chaos around us. We can't say, we will not be indisciplined in a way, how to proceed, how to do certain things. Then, whether the data is of our importance, it's actually giving us the result that we wanted to. For that, we need to make sure that the quality of data remains intact. So the second thing is making sure the data is of good quality. Good quality doesn't mean that the data is having certain measurement of quality or as such. It means that the data is what is actually that particular data that we required. For example, if we want to know about the sales, then certainly it should consist of the data of various previous years, what the sale was, who were the customers, what was their feedback. Likewise, anything, the variables must be something that are related to particular outcome. That means all the independent variables from which we are going to analyze our dependent variable, that must be of proper and intact value. Fine. Then we move to the actual task, that is the decision making. We wanted to know something about our data. If I say that a student studies for a certain hour, and then when that student increase the hour of study, then the marks are also increasing. Then we can analyze more study means more marks. Okay. So we can be informed that the decision of more studying help us to attain and gain more marks. But what if we observe that no, not every time it happens like that. For example, if a student studies for 5 hours and gets suppose 50 marks, and if increases the hour, the student gets 60 marks. Again, when the hours are increased, then many a times we can see that the marks are not that much increasing. So, see, here we are observing that the data is not only linearly placed, it can be non-linear also, it can be of probable type distribution also, it can be some value between the lower bound and the upper bound. So, that means we need to know what type of decision, what type of result are we desiring for. So that means our data analytics lifecycle also help us to know the informed decision making. We need to get the result in the minimum time possible. So with a good quality data, with less amount of time, if we are getting the result properly, we can say our life cycle is very efficient. Our data analytics is very efficient. So it increases the efficiency if we follow a certain standard, a way, a pattern is being followed. Then it helps us to continuously improve our process. And now what do we mean by continuously improving the process? See, for example, if I collected some data for a health to know the prediction of certain disease, and then I came up with some result. I analyzed that, okay, this the blood pressure or the eating habit, the routine are of these are the reasons certainly for that particular disease, whether it is communicable, non-communicable, bacterial, viral, whatever. I came up with certain result. But then I realized, no, there is something missing, I've missed out something, then I need to go back. I need to retrace that very same process. That means if I will be following some steps, then I can definitely revert back to the previous one. If I am not at all following any step, then it will be a proper chaos. I will not be able to complete my task within the time. So our life cycle help us to continuously improve our data analytics. Okay, so this is the way I have already explained how and why the life cycle should be followed to make our data analytics certainly very much important. Okay, now coming directly to the main 6 phases of the data analytics. First is the discovery. Second, we prepare the data for our usage purpose. Then we plan some model as to how the data should be used to make a model. Then the actual part comes, and that is whatever planning did we make is now is now properly build up, used to build up that particular model. And then the results that we obtain from this model are communicated to all the stakeholders involved. And finally, once the things are proper, it comes into the proper operation. The result is being used. It can be used for some medicinal purpose. It can be used for the fertilizers. And if we talk about the crop industry, it can be of some student benefit. It can be of anything. It can be for the brand promotion, whatever organization is using this. For this, we have different tools also that helps in all the phases. The first one is the discovery of the data. Okay, so discovery means first initially some hypothesis is being made. The hypothesis can be just decided in a meeting or with the interaction of various persons who are involved in the particular project. And then some of the tested data, some of the sample data from the population is being taken into account. And then the problem, the real problem, whatever the problem was, the objective is properly discussed and investigated as to which type and what type of data is actually required for this particular problem. What do we actually need? What type of independent or what type of various independent variables are needed, or only one, or it can be anything. And what are we trying to find out? That means which particular dependent variable are we going to calculate? Then once we know about our data, then it's to be prepared before the particular modeling. Before particular modeling, as in, that means the data can be duplicated. The data can be of various sorts. It can be of meaning. It can be of some meaning. It can hold certain meaning. It can be meaningless. It can be anything. So we need to properly prepare that data before finally planning our model. Okay, and then comes the model planning. We imagine that we have cleaned the data. Now the data is certainly of use, a big usage. We have taken into account, we have considered only the data that is most required, whether it is a linear type of data or it is a non-linear type of data. That will help us to decide what type of model will be appropriate for our problem. So that means now this phase, we have entered the phase where we need to plan that particular model. Which type of model will be of much benefit for us? Again, many tools are used here. Then the model is finally built up. The production, the team actually comes here and analyze. And after using all the cleaned, prepared and modeled data, that is approved one, finally the model is built up. And various data sets are then finally taken into account, because testing also is done here. The testing help us to know whether that model is appropriate or not. That model that we have developed is appropriate, is it working, if it is robust or not, working for every sort of test data, every sort of the data that is randomly taken. For the random variables we need to make ascertain. Again, as I told you, there are various free and open source tools, there is commercial tools available. I'm going to tell you about some of the tools also. And then the results that are finalized are communicated to all the stakeholders. The stakeholders now work on this particular model, that model is being developed, and first of all they take some of the results, and before coming into making it operational, they just work on all the data that has been taken as the result, and they analyze whether the result is appropriate or not, whether the result is what that they wanted to achieve, or is it something different. That means they are trying to identify various findings, the business value, the narrative, whatever they have summarized initially is actually on plate or not. And then it comes to the operation. All the team now make sure that everyone learns it and is deployed fully. Everyone then uses the particular model or the tool as per their requirement, whether it is for any final reports, some briefings, codes, that means the data visualization part, or any type of result only, or making some accuracy part, or just differentiating the previous model or the current one. It can be of any use. Here we discussed in every phases there are many tools used. So the first tool is the master tool, that is the Hadoop. It is basically the superhero of the data analytics. It helps the big data to be operational. It helps the person, it helps the team involved to make sure that all the data is there only without any chaos. So Hadoop is the superhero definitely for the data analytics purpose. Here many other tools are taken into account, like for example, here Alpine Miner that you can see on the slide, what it does, it is just cleaning our data. It is refining our data. The Alpine Miner and Open Refine, these are helping us clean the particular data. That means there can be a case that the spelling, say the Delhi is written somewhat like Delhi, or it could be like this, or it could be all caps. So this tool doesn't consider it as three other values. It will definitely understand that it is pointing out the very same city. So that means here this tool is of data cleaning purpose used. Then comes the engineer of our data analytics phase, that is the MATLAB and the Statistica. What it does, it helps us to conduct various statistical, mathematical and data and the machine learning operations. So we can take the help of these two tools. These are of our foremost use for these operational purposes. Moreover, there is Vika and Octave. This helps us to visualize the data as per our requirement. Whatever we want, be it the graph or the bar charts, whatever that we intend to use are given by these tools. And there is the open source tool, the R programming, which helps us to do all the calculations in the GUI way, and it is moreover it is open source tool, so easily available and everyone can use it for their data analytics purpose. So with the help of these tools, the proper analytics is being done, and we come to a final product that is of use, and by choosing a perfect model. So this is just the introductory part of data analytics. I will be coming with more videos. What do we actually do afterwards? Once we study this, then we come to the regression. How many types of regression are there? That I will certainly discuss. For now, just this was the topic. I hope it was of use for you. Okay. Thank you so much.